So, there were the two places where you said you apologized. At some point, you apologized to your stalker Rena,
Yeah.
and then at some point you apologized to Christina.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the concept of an apology? Is an apology said to be heard or said for the sayer to feel better?
I didn't do it for me. I definitely didn't do it for myself to feel better, because I don't think any of that's going to go away for me.
Okay.
So I don't think an apology is going to get rid of that. And I think the real reason I did it was because, especially for Rena, that I didn't feel like it ended good, because it wasn't going good. Especially after the December phone call that I talked with her, and it just felt like it was disintegrating, and it kept going. And I didn't know how to end it in any way because it was continuous. And I feel like the apology was necessary to kind of say, like, I know you're young, and I know this. I have to kind of apologize for not seeing my way of, I guess, eliminating that and trying to take it from your step, from how you're acting.
So kind of like apologizing by saying that I'm gonna keep doing what I want to do, but apologize that I can't recuperate your feelings or what it is that you're asking me to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It felt like that was, and I think with Christina it was more that it was a different reason for that, because it felt like there was no way my apology would change the choice that was done on her end.
Right.
Because I didn't have a choice. So it felt like the apology was necessary maybe for her, because it feels like sometimes people express that they fix themselves only. Like they don't take responsibility for the actions they do outside. And I think I apologized for all the actions and took the responsibility for everything on the outside, because I couldn't. That's all I could do at that point.
So you don't apologize to feel better. You apologize because you can't kind of like continue whatever it is that you can or cannot continue. So is it significant how the apology is received? How did Rena and Christina receive the apology? And do you care how they receive it?
I do.
Okay.
I do care, that's for certain. And I think that Rena received it really well. And her response made sense to, like, because we didn't really know each other for more than a year, so it was less than that, I think. But actually it was a little, no, it was less than a year, but seeing how she responded to it, it felt good to have at least someone articulate to me an understanding. I didn't really need to get a response from anybody else, and I did get some responses that weren't positive, so, but I'm not going to bring them up because I don't really think that they affected me. It was better that I kind of responded to what had happened, because sometimes things ended too flashy, and I think with Christina it was more that I got a response that she was okay, and that's what mattered. To have that response after the apology.
Okay, so let's move on. So now that we've been friends for, I guess, 3 to 4 years?
2010. So
3 years.
Yeah.
It felt longer.
Yeah.
So I know that writing is important to you, reading is important to you, running, and I guess I want you to talk about how that evolved in you, for you, and I'm really interested in what you said about how reading influences your writing, whether or not you can see the influence directly.
Yeah.
So can you talk about that?
Well, started back in 1998. I started to write like one-page stories, and it was because of watching shows like Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction. I started seeing like the little snippet stories, and then like seeing how, like, whether this is fact or fiction, seeing how it, I think from that I became interested in telling my own kind of little short stories. For a while I had written short stories, and then I started to write poems as well in high school. And so basically writing involved with me since I've been writing in my journals since like 5th grade. So I had done the same with my own personal writing just as much as, I guess, creative writing. And I wrote all I could and evolved them into like one-page stories, and I kind of like directly stay on one subject. And like from Beyond Belief, I was getting through those one-page stories much of what I saw and was told to with like writing poems. It got into me like writing early on, like even through like school and stuff. I evolved my writing more than I expected. Even like in junior high, I found like index cards, and I would start. I guess in high school, I should say, I found a note index card that had a dot and a rip on it, and I started a series that is now like $20 long. I recently finished like all the first drafts of all 20.
Awesome.
And the writing ideas came together just like, I guess a lot of it comes together like just reality and imagination. I kind of just put fact and fiction all together and like I guess like pushed it together. And it's the same, I guess, during my creative writing classes, my literature, and all the English classes, I got better and better. Like just that, I guess, finding a definitive quality that I could suck out of my writing and just keep focusing on. And I think that's what really happened with all the classes and all the reading, that I kind of took everything, and I didn't really tear it apart. I just sort of spoke about it more, and I just opened it more. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I do with a lot of my writing, that I basically from 1998 to this time, I'd always been writing, and especially during 2007, 2012, I learned new things in writing. I learned new ways of writing, try to do like structured writing, try to do every single type, and including ideas that are like stream of consciousness, poems, journals, personal writings, ramblings even, which is what I do with Pink Cloud Radio and everything. And short stories and noveling stuff, and all of them to me are hugely evolved and involved in my life. I think like reading was a part of my life as a kid, but I think I noticed if I kept on doing things over and over again, I would read like certain like kids stories or certain kids books, and I think like from that I kind of concretely learned that I need to read more, but I don't have anywhere to go with it. And I think when I started to is when I met Shane and stuff, and reading more. And I think an escape is not an escape to me, even.
What are some of the first things you've read that you can...
Ooh. I think some of the first stuff I read was like Amelia Bedelia.
Oh, okay.
That. And like all the like a lot of the kids books, like
she's pretty kooky.
Yeah. I can't, but I don't know. I guess I can't enjoy much when my life turns around, like reading. I think that's where my concentration and focus comes away from reading. Where if like I can't have like a structured life, I guess my reading isn't structured, so I don't focus and concentrate on it. And I think that's why in a lot of ways I didn't read too much as a kid, because I really wasn't focused at all. But I'm happy just to find and really take control of what I want to read, like how I think or how I don't know always comes into question when I choose reading. So like it could be any reason, but reading I wished is bigger in my life, and I think it's starting to take a big takeoff and complement my life. Mm-hmm. It's just taking some time, and I think evolved to now I really have gone over many authors, all the books I can remember from like high school to now, which I still go over, like John, and some of my favorites like John Fowles and other really speak to my sensation in life and living, and really became a big part of my life during 10th grade, as I said, with what had happened with my friend Shane. And it's the same thing with running. Oh, sorry, I said running. I should say running, which is where I did track and cross country. And I do enjoy running, and that's why I continue to like 6 to 8 miles, and I still like 40 or 50 minutes. And I think I kind of shifted around through running like huge, like 3-hour runs sometimes to 30, 40 minutes, 50 minutes now. And I kind of just try to keep a consistent time with it. And during my time in high school, I did do choir, and that didn't really help me have a strong relief in exercise. And a lot of my teachers said, especially my teacher during senior year, said that it's good that you run and do choir. Like both of them complement each other in a lot of ways. And I think that I learned teamwork and a lot of stuff through that choral groups and everything. So that's it.
So how did you choose what you wanted to major in college? Like, how do you know that that was what you were interested in back then? And I guess, can you talk about that?
Yeah. Well, I think they did reflect what I really have been doing since I was like 8 or 9. And I think I was led to the majors because I am illiterate in a lot of ways. So, and I was in a place to change, and I think I was guided through much from all the professors I had even back then when I started college, and even in high school, I had a lot of professors that helped me kind of develop the skill, like using it. I used like 5 index cards to develop like my storylines for a lot of my stories, and I think that came from a professor in like 11th grade in high school. He taught me like, okay, well, you should use 5 index cards, give it an outline of it, and that's what I started doing. And I think there was one of my senior English teachers was like doubting man and really discouraged about like writing as a profession. So there's no money in that, and he was kind of more towards the sports end. And I think I just rose to a level where I was writing more and more. I seemed to flow positive and negative, so and I fight for what matters and learn from the lowest steps to the tallest. I think that's what I started doing with a lot of my choices even, and that's why I did choose a lot. Like I think I'm just an average normal student when it comes to grades, like but I still try my hardest to develop. Even with like lower grades, I still try to do a lot of what I can do. I developed my writing through essays and through creative and other forms through my teachers like Karen Rose, Lauren Wheeler, Jeff Epley, Frank Gaspar, and through Cal State Long Beach too. I even defined more like with Zach Laughlin and Rafael Zepeda and other professors as well, Professor Moore as well, I should bring up. And I think I really gained all my knowledge to a deeper extent through that. And what matters that I became aware to step away and into my own writing from all my major classes. So I think from 2004 to the last year in 2012, even high school reflects what became to now as well. I mean, I need to come to terms with certain parts, like with my family, it's different. It's easy to find, I think, easy passages to ignore or to change who I have been with focus and concentration on my writing and reading. I do find my ways to circumvent and push against my own passions to make my family happy at times and make other people happy. But I think that really needs to go, but it's a necessary part of my major and how my passion really is relevant to my own life.
So from what you said, I can kind of get the sense that you chose writing because it allows you to express yourself more, and because you've already done that prior to going to college.
Yeah.
It seemed like a good fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you talk about the differences between you and your immediate friends and families?
Yeah, I think expectations. Really? That's it. I have to use that one right away. I think I'm doing what I love, working with like little money right now, a paranormal nonprofit group to help people, and writing a lot, running, reading. What I focus and am concentrated on. I mean, I collect music directly too as well. I have a lot of CDs here, and and I do. I don't really online purchase them. I try to get the physical CDs, but I make audio recordings, and those are things that I've been doing for a while through my YouTube account and putting them up there. Pink Cloud Radio. I get stuffed animals, as you see, and make videos with stuffed animals. I only mention all this because all my hobbies are different than, I guess, my family and immediate friends. And it makes it easy and very difficult now as I'm older, I think. When I was young, I could let others create choices in a lot of ways, which I mentioned before. And I would go along with it. It was like the choices awareness, as I said. At the same time, the history has proven that my choices would never lead the same way to the same people. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where I can't really use a lot of choices awareness all the time. Mm-hmm. And I guess for Mamina, my grandma, I didn't come over from Italy, and to be honest, I can't only relate to stories and family friends so much. So there's other things that I'm relating to. And this doesn't mean I have no connection at all with them. I think that I could move with my mom and my grandma, my Mamina, to see these friends. At the same time, I could not think of ways on my own to create a relationship to continue, I guess. And at the point, I would rather be a hermit for myself. I can't live up to others' ambitions, including family members. I'm not saying that I would be a hermit. I just think that that's where the key is, like, in choices and not choices, I guess. I'm not against her views or my grandma's views. I mean, if I argue with her, it's to get the truth out of her sometimes, too. And I think I don't argue to simply digest everything or let it all out or something. I'm not against really her views, and since I am a person who is not comfortable trusting as I would be considered compared to my grandma, I guess that she in fact already helped me to understand trust issues, since she lacks much of them toward any kinds of friends. I mean, she's been called a tiger at times from other people, so, and that's fine. I don't, I guess, like, it's the same thing with any kind of friends, like, or my brother introduced to her, like, what do I call critics? Mamina. As a joke, I do say that, but I don't really criticize her by saying that. I feel bad when I make my own friends and not continue other friendships, and that's on my own. And this is where I have been, like, in a lot of ways sometimes, and still am at times. Many of my so-called friends left me for reasons of my own character. If I failed due to my character, not much else I could do to change it, I think. But I have little thoughts on, like, reputation from others, if it's, if called names are bad things, because I already had been the character I had been to them. So based on my character, to believe them would not make sense, I think, because I believe them, but I don't think my character is like, huh, wait a minute. I can only do better next time in life and, like, keep going. Like, I can't really think about the people around me as my own when they came from someone else, I think. Mm-hmm. And I think even if it's family or close friends, everyone is an individual, and I believe should be treated as that, in that way. That, like, for my mom, I really am like her in many ways, though I have had influences from all my family members and everyone that has walked into my life at some point. To be direct, I learned to not do anything like my mom. Like, I think she did a lot for security and escape in her own way, and I think she said it to me past week that me and my brother were talking to her about relationships and stuff like that, and she was saying it sounds so complicated what you're doing, the way you're doing it. Like, because I go with my emotions, feelings, sensitivities, and I think, like, you don't need to defend those. Like, your actions speak for those, and, like, I think in a lot of ways that's where people say, like, you have to cry about things. Sometimes your crying is your action.
So you don't need to justify what you do.
Yeah. I mean, justification is already there, I think, in a lot of ways, but I don't know if, I think that doesn't count for everything, but I don't want to stand above everybody else when I say that.
Well, no, I mean, I don't think that you're coming from above. You're speaking for yourself right now.
Which I try to all the time, and I think, like, my mom said the same about my feelings, and all going with them, like, how much I have grown with him now up to this point. I think I have to extremely accept the feelings, and have been doing so to achieve all I have in life. Like, if I wanted to hate, I would be already. Like, I think in a lot of ways that's what has happened in a lot of ways, where at the same time, though, I don't only ask about the money made. Like, my mom and my brother would have understanding in this way to get this idea of money being such a damaging creation for a relationship in all forms it can be. And my brother, on what he wanted, he came to really change into. Like, you can't accomplish anything without friends and family being upset with you. Like, without, like, my brother said at times where, oh, if you're doing something to make people happy, you're doing something wrong. If you're doing something to make people upset, you're doing something right. Like, if you're making people upset, you're doing something right in some extent. Like, there must be some reason why they're upset. Like, there must be something that they're missing, or that you're seeing from them, evoking off them, that seems like, well, why would they have that reaction? Why would they be upset about you accomplishing something without, I guess, their...
Right, because you're not satisfying them in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, he meant it in a way where it's like, you know, for my brother that is true, and I find it fascinating in dealing with the side I am on. Like, family to me really holds a grasp like a baby with a rattle, or those things babies suck on.
Pacifiers?
Yeah, pacifiers. There we go. I just wanted to say it a different way. I think. But addiction results, I think, sometimes with families, like anybody close, that I can say that all from family members to friends, there can be ulterior motives, and a lot of times there is, like, from how people grow people and how people grow up children. Like, it feels like sometimes there's an ulterior motive to that growth. Like,
people grow children?
Well, yeah. Maybe not. But they do grow them up, I guess. Just
right.
I mean, if done with addiction, I mean, it's unlikely I'll be revealed. Most likely, vicious attacks will be done, like telling me to leave the home or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the situation. If so, like, it's hard to see who you are unless you see it when young, I guess.
Right.
And just to say I can't change now doesn't mean you can't. It means you won't for anyone, even for the betterment of, like, yourself. Like, it's, to me, the experiences a person has in a lifetime is their own, and cannot match my own. For example, like, I really feel it's a distant action to say I have more experiences than you. Well, I don't care, since it's only developed you. Mm-hmm. My development will come in my experiences. If I wanted to be you, I would be relying on your experiences. Living vicariously through family members or friends is a choice I make to a point. Like, the choiceless awareness woke in me a purpose and choice of my own to be the way I am now and today. Like, I think that's what's really happened. I did get that ex-friends tried to change me to how they felt and thought. They wanted someone like them. And it makes sense to be in such a world and not have someone like you. It's a action that makes logical sense, but I'm not looking to live up to family or friends' expectations or to logic. I think if I did, I would give them a mirror as a gift and tell them that's their expectations right there, and I gotta go.
I think people have this, I don't want to say misconception, but this strong desire to relate.
Yeah.
Like, I think even my students or, like, friends or even myself sometimes, I can't relate to you, I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
If I don't know what you're saying, I will never understand you, but I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I think relation can cause frustration because even if we're talking about the same experiences, we have different point of views.
Yeah.
I think we just need to open communication in a different way, and
yeah.
we need to understand that it can come from all point of views, not just like we need to relate.
Yeah.
I need to have that experience in order to understand it. No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I agree.
So transitioning from expectations and mirrors and choiceless awareness,
yeah.
Can you talk about when is important to take charge in your life, or do you take charge in your life, and how is that important, or is it important?
I never have, I think.
You never have.
I still haven't.
Taken charge.
I think it's better that way. I think because when there's taking charge, there's also a big opportunity to be ego driven, to have, like, your ego and pride, like, take over at that point.
Right.
Like, I think that's not me, and it makes it easy for me to deal and be myself and, like, not, I guess, taking charge in all I have and will do in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that takes away responsibility, but it takes the charge away. Like, mm-hmm. like being. It has little to do if I'm dependent on some way, because I think I can't escape dependence. What I'm offered from my mom, for example, one may want to take away. Like, oh, okay, gonna take that away from you. You know,
no.
What your mom offers you. I'm obviously dependent on the system I live under. You know, there's government, there's money, there's other groups or people I pay for service. I mean, just paying your bills. You're being dependent. I think I do literally have little independence other than what I am and think. But I have to say taking charge is being in the middle of nowhere. And that is where I am right now. I think I've taken charge in that effect. Like, sorry, phone.
We forgot to do the session where we turn off all our cell phones.
Yeah. Thankfully, it's just a small quote, so it's nothing big. I've changed it. But I think that I have taken charge. To some extent of me wants power and control, but it never gets anything well in the end. So, like, I think in a lot of ways, being in the middle of nowhere, I'm going to get better opportunity this way. As with you, I have better opportunity.
I think I understand exactly what you're trying to say, because you're kind of connecting the concept of taking charge as like looking for something specific.
Yeah.
And kind of trying to fulfill a goal or a plan.
Yeah.
And I was reading somewhere that when you look for something or when you search for something, that's all you'll find.
Yeah.
Or that's all you won't find.
Yeah.
But when you're able to let go of what you see so clearly, what you want your life to be, everything else comes rushing in, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like when you look for something or when you take charge, you're only opening your door or your window of life to that specific thing. Yeah. And that's very limiting. And so I agree with what you're saying.
What was I? No, it's okay. Well, I guess I could get into being assertive too, and initiating relations with people.
Yeah.
Is the taking charge I don't have in life right now.
Right.
But then again, on the other end, let's see, I cannot abuse anything I'm dependent on, and I don't think I have. If I am using or have used anything, I remember that for our life when I was young, it's harder to live and not take steps for other people and family, which I have done, and I think in a lot of ways that kind of makes people. They don't see when you do something for them sometimes. Like family members, for example, if you do something for them, they may not realize it or notice it, and they won't say anything about it. Like, oh,
because it's expected.
Yeah. And I think the dependence and independence comes from all around us. Like what's allowed and not allowed creates the free will or the choiceless awareness we will take. Like whatever is around us, that there is no wasted time. So it's best to not just see like my reflection as the person you know through me. Like there's a bunch of attitudes and personality that's inside, and that in itself says more. I can't feel as they, like, meaning the ones that in itself say more. I can't, meaning like the ones dependent on, I can't just like know them. Well, I live off like of the ones I am dependent on. I don't turn into them at all. Like there's no way I could, just because I'm dependent on them. I don't turn into a bill when I pay my bill.
Right.
If I accept somebody, they will keep me around. If it's family or anyone else, to me, you can have judgments, opinions. Like that's fine. Like I feel pretty much I accept it, and I will attack if you try to like make it mine, whoever you are. But I won't attack in the like a vicious dog way or something like that. To me, you have any judgments, opinions, I pretty much accept. And if you think I'm just believing what I believe, you can do so. But no matter what, both of us can be wrong. Mm-hmm. It's a big bridge that has both sides. There's traffic on both sides, though. But
I like how you said that.
Yeah.
We can both be wrong. Because everyone's like, well, we can both be right. But no.
Yeah.
It's very likely that we're both wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's just like the big bridge, there's both sides up, so, we let traffic through, but not many stay so long, not many will wait.
Right.
And I feel like no one is taking charge even if they try. Like I have built my own life to not take charge, and all others taking charge falls down with what charge I never try,
Mm-hmm. So, can you share your perspective on failure and success? What do you think about that? Are they dependent on each other, and how does that work?
Up to all of you and your addictions and my own addictions and what both really hold on to. Failure and success are two-way streets, just like religion, math, and science, I think of them. That's what I kind of... All these figures all look at for the best ways, and I feel that they all are wrong to do that. Because the best way isn't always like the thing that you need, the thing that anyone needs. Like We're not looking, I think like being spiritual, like being sensitive is in our individual lives and equal rights for who we are as people. I think that's what really, like, my basic energy is always in goodness. I know I should hide it so I can be protected, because I know a lot of ways people attack that too. But these failures and successes are learning tools and knowledge in life, not a means to an end. I think that's the thing. Like, failure and success, a lot of people think is like a means to an end. Oh, if you fail here, then this is what happens. If you succeed here, this is what happens. But it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that's the result. There's still something else that may be there too. And I think the hobbies, interests all really help to express the success and failures. Like, people say nothing lasts forever, but that is up to what we feel. Like, something can last forever even if it's not with somebody. Even if it's not through some kind of, thing that we've seen significantly in the public, or through some movie. Okay. Well, like I was saying, people say nothing lasts forever. But if we want something to last, we will find a way, and not just believe what we tell ourselves, I guess. I think that this is even if it's something like only one-sided, like that's only from us. We even do what's been done, and when it's been done too. Like, the thing is, failure and success is all I see and ever had experience in a lot of ways. Like, I'm glad I have, because it helped me understand what the two mean and where I am now. Like, it has shown, like, my once also experiencing all the way it makes me figure out why. Like, the why makes me understand, like, what power did that failure and success, what power did that have over me? And, like, I think, like, for me, that's, like, it can't have power over me now. Like, I don't put my security or escape or on anyone else or anything at all, because, like, that's, like, again, that's, like, expectations in a way. And my assurance is all in me. Like, a success is relative, and failure has no option when it happens. So you just enjoy it, I guess. I feel like all I am is secured and assured, even with failure. It's like not changing. It can't make me change after it happens. That just as judgment and disapproval, it doesn't make the security and assurance of what I am move who I am, unless anything or what I am changes. Like, success will occur and never happen. Like, the line can't be crossed. I feel that my temptations break all barriers, and if it leads me to the one person or thing, and lets all passion directed in one place, and with the one girl, the passion of the Christ, this is the passion of Marcello. So I collect all I lost and find passion in all the failures and success.
I like that. I collect all that I lost. Good. So, can you talk about your accomplishments in school and life and relationship and everything in between? This is like the final grand question.
I think school was just a section and kind of like left, and glad it's only the point to learn and leave, because I think knowledge is not what we learn, it's what we find in ourselves, and we'll leave with the people we learn from. And I think that's an important part of why, like, so school has more effect on me from what others have put on me, I think. And, like, it's the same in me to, like, the teachers and the other students that I've been around. Like, my life has, like, I guess, hold on. My life, I think all life is a complex relationship to family. I'm different in many ways to my family members. And we all really are four complete strangers. To each other. Like, my mom sees my growth and attentively feels the happy and strong energy I earn and give her and others, each day, even within the family and without. I think the formula for success is not in me, but because I can't accommodate what passion I have to myself or other people who gave up. Like, passion is vocal in me with all I do, and I could not find any work in what truly I love to do. But there is ways, like, for family, to me, can't be 100%, but that's always going to find a place in time, like, and it always does. Like, though many times it's not because the experience of others older usually creates an ego in life that they did not live. Like, sometimes I think that's what happens. Like, with my grandma said this, and my mom has not like she had her experience but does not create a wall to navigate from. I think like with my family, some ways there is that connection of like what my grandma didn't experience. Maybe it's all the emotions, feelings, sensitivities that I have grown with that will show the passion throughout my life, and also it can create skepticism from others like who haven't done it. I think that's what could be created too. That it's with work, I do feel great right now and have I do as I please even with school. That changes each week when I was in school, and I do feel accomplished in relationships. I wish what I had before really left my passion and love stronger than others' disapproval and their own judgments through others. I think like I feel in the middle of nowhere right now in this sort of relationship thingy, including with friends and with all people. Like I learned that the why about why I was in that and other friendships that went down I took the hard paths to be the bad guy, and have to walk away is the hardest thing when you're, I guess, in that position of just being the bad guy. Which is fine. I never thought I could be. But I guess, I think it all fell short because some judgment from within and others' disapproval and judgment held over all of them. Like, it didn't just hurt me. I feel like I have no fear or hope now, and learning that my concepts of the relationship of friendships have been so goddamn different, and they have. I mean, I'm waiting for the time to come and seeing that it's not restricting to be at home with my mom and find my life with someone. A one-sided look at who I am is like, I think people's blindness is like your blindness to never take away or learn over much about what I am and how much you don't want to know. What really shows from others is their true characters, I think, and through the judgments and disapprovals. I get CDs and really earn all I feel by the past fallen into failures and successes that is slow, and I think it is slow. That one thing I feel accomplished in is that I fail because I am genuine and that I stay as I am. So I don't know if that's, I never change to make others happy even when I fail to all extents, I think. Like I learned from somebody, I don't learn for, I guess that's, even if I had, would not be, even if I had, they would not be happy. Like as I said about expectations, if they aren't happy, it's with themselves. Like all people whine being fake or bad to help get their places higher, but I can't replace who I am, so I feel very accomplished with that, who I am. Thank you for asking though, Jax NTP, and thank you for all watching. I will see you at the graduation.
Well, thank you for allowing me to have this experience and ask you these questions, and I'm really happy that we're able to have this kind of dialogue and this platform for you to like speak about everything that's so important to you. And thank you for everyone for watching. All right.